Welcome to the 10th video in this series about flowing more money in our lives with gratitude and generosity. Now, if you haven't watched the previous videos, start with the first one, it's linked below, and then work up to this one. Here's the thing about all of this. The point of this is to help you have more money, right? Like you see in these pictures. But it's not just about having more money, it's about having more life with a capital L. That's why I use this picture from the very beginning. That's what I want for you. I hope you're experiencing that as you try out doing the things mentioned in this video. It's good for you to learn the principles so you have confidence in the techniques and know how to do the techniques. And you need to do the techniques if you want to have the result. You need to do them consistently. The plan is for this to be the last video. Now, that's the plan, is last video on this topic. But if you put questions below in the comments, additional questions you have, based on the questions people ask, I might make additional videos on this topic if there's if people are having questions they really want. So go ahead and do that. Also, there's some extra videos about money on Patreon. So if you become a patron on Patreon, it's a $13 a month thing you sign up for, where you're giving $13 a month to support this channel to help us make videos. And then in gratitude, we give you extra content. And so there's some extra money videos on there. And you can find out how to get on Patreon, links below. Today, for the final video, I want to go together to the 13 Seasons website. So I'm gonna open a new tab here. I'm gonna go to 13seasons.org. This website, at the time this video is made, is a work in progress. That's part of why we appreciate the patrons on Patreon so much, is they help support the process of making this website. Now here's the philosophy behind the website. And this is all going to tie into money we've been talking about here. On this website, we have 13 virtues, right? I'm going to click here and go to, and so you can see them. Here are the 13 virtues. Here they're represented as little circles here, right? And so we have these 13 virtues. These 13 virtues were revealed to us through our meditation. As we meditated and engaged in prayer and received information from God or the collective consciousness from Source, whatever you want to call it, these were revealed to us. This is not, we can't take credit for us. And we believe these 13 virtues are ancient, that they are, these virtues were used to create the planet. And everyone who discovers like a truly good virtuous life is applying these 13 virtues, whether or not they would word it that way or say it that way. And we feel so grateful to identify these 13 virtues. And so we divide the year. This is something my family started and that we're spreading through this website and through the YouTube channel and everything. We divide the year into 13 parts. And during each of these 13 seasons of the year, we focus on one of the 13 virtues. And so I have this website here with the 13 virtues up here. And I want to show you how what you've been learning up to this point is the 13 virtues. And as I do that, I'll help you reinforce what you've already learned and teach you some extra tidbits. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the virtues because you can go to the site and learn about all the virtues. I'm just going to talk about some of the virtues that were particularly applicable to what we've been talking about. So accept agency. So it says, own your ability to choose, allow others to do the same. Accepting agency is accepting the idea that your choices have an effect. We've been talking about how you can by doing the washing, anointing, symbolic kind of processes we've been doing of clearing our emotions and creating new ones, how we can get to the point where we can choose to create the life we want for ourselves with our own spiritual energy. We also talked about how other people's energy affects us, right? We have the power to create the life we want for ourselves. You don't have to just let it happen. And it's important to accept that other people's energy affects us and, deal with that, right? That's what this accept agency principle is all about. Communicate effectively. Okay, we've been talking about communication. I've been communicating with you to give you principles that will help you be successful. You've been listening to gain those principles. Also, when we do things like affirmations, we're communicating with ourselves. We're saying to ourselves, I'm going to have this new experience now. That's communication. And when it comes to money, an important thing we haven't talked as much about is that, there's people we need to communicate with about money. And as we learn the principle, you can click here and learn more principles about communicating effectively. And as you can communicate more effectively with others, you can, work with your partner and family people to manage money better. And you can work with other people, to flow money. Like money is an interaction between people, and it involves communication. In fact, when you give someone money, that is a communication. You're saying something to them. And every time you give someone money, ask yourself, what am I communicating to them when I gave them this money? And is that a message you want to be sending? We've been talking about creating solutions, how to create money solutions in our lives. We've been talking a lot about processing emotions, right? How do we need to process our emotions around money if we're going to flow more? It's important to stay motivated. The techniques I've taught here are only going to work for you if you do them consistently over time. So you're going to need to stay motivated. You might check out the site and see what you can learn here about staying motivated. I have helped you increase understanding, which has helped you grow in these things. Love everyone, right? Money is all. There's a lot of love involved in money, in the sense that if you choose to let it be that, let money be a way to serve. Not that you should give people money instead of love, but that you use your money for whatever you need to use it for, even if it's just to free up your time, so that you can do what's needed to show love to people. Seek money to an ends of showing love, but don't use money in place of love. Steward the earth. It's really important we take care of this planet and take care of everyone on it, all the animals, everyone. As we learn to clean out our bodies and have more pure energy coming from our bodies, it's going to bless the planet automatically. And as we flow more money, what are we going to use that money for? To bless our planet and everyone on it. This is an example of some of these virtues and how they play out. Here on this channel, we're constantly posting content that helps people do each of these virtues in their appropriate season. So follow our content and you can grow in all these things. And then you'll rise to like the fullness of your potential. And the fullness of your potential, another word for that is this word here, yearnity. Yearnity is a word we use here to describe becoming your best self. I just realized that my face might have been blocking some of these. I apologize for that. I hope I think you're following along okay. I hope so. Again, I'm enjoying my best self by just running with the flow and being patient when I make little mistakes. I invite you to be patient with your mistakes too. So we can fulfill yearnity. And we fulfill yearnity, or we become our best selves, have other people become their best selves with everything we do. And part of this, though, is fulfilling yearnity, is letting what's best happen instead of trying to force things, right? When you fulfill yearnity, you don't try to force your best self. You let your best self come to being. You get everything out of the way. So as we process our emotions around money and try to create this new thing, we just let whatever's happened is going to happen, whatever time frame it's going to happen in. Please don't try to force this stuff. Please don't try to use these techniques to force like too specific of a result and in a very specific time frame. Like let it flow in the way that's best, in the way that best brings about your best potential. And if you have an attitude of just kind of letting it happen instead of forcing it to happen, it's going to be much better. As an example of this, today I flew a kite. And as I was flying, I'll go up here. I was flying a kite, and kind of like these clouds that invoke kind of like a windy sky, right? I was flying a kite, and as I was flying this kite, it was like this really complicated kite, and it was really heavy, and it looked like a boat. It was very, very heavy kite. It was a very hard kite to fly. And I put the kite together, and I tried flying. It wasn't working. I tried and tried and tried. I couldn't get the kite to fly. And then it was time to go home. And so I said to myself, well, I really wanted that to happen. I really wanted to fly that kite. But I didn't. And that's okay. It's okay. And so my son picked up the kite, and I held the string, and we just started walking back, to go home. And as we were walking, I was going to put the kite. We were out to the point we were going to put the kite in its packaging. And right when we got to the very end, a gust of wind came and pulled the kite out of my son's hands, and it flew up into the air. And I started extending the string more and more and more, and the kite flew higher and higher and higher, and I extended the entire length of the whole string. And the kite was flying as high as it could fly. And it was amazing. I was just so mindful and so grateful and having so much fun watching this kite just fly as high as it could. And I realized something. I really wanted that to happen. I really believed it could happen. But when I got to the point where I was okay with it not happening, and I surrendered to whatever happening being okay, that's when it happened. And that's the way these kind of processes play out. It's like you can have anything you want if you're okay with anything happening. And you're patient and you wait for that and you fully surrender to what's best. It's a contradiction, but it's a contradiction that works. Consider that as you move forward with these principles. Also, I want to point out one more feature on this site. There's a button in the top right corner, it's red. And if you click on that button, it takes you to this place where you can sign up for help on your journey. I really like helping people. It's like my favorite thing in the world to like work with people to help them apply these kinds of principles. And you might be in a place where you've learned this stuff and you can use what's in these videos, just run with it all by yourself. Or you might be in a place where you feel like you could use some mentorship, use help, like one-on-one help from me to apply this stuff. And if you want that, you can sign up for it. Through this page here, you can sign up, fill out this information here, and you can sign up for that kind of help. And then once you sign up for that, I will contact you. And when I contact you, I will say to you, hey, what's going on? And we'll have a half an hour call where I'll just find out from you what it is you want help with. And then in that call, or maybe after the call, I'm going to think and I'm going to meditate about what might help you. And I'm going to give you some tools to try to help you. And this could be helping with money, but it could also be help with relationships, help with physical or mental health, help with anything. Help with just becoming your best self. Help with unlocking your spiritual potential and having more powerful spiritual experiences. It can be help with any of that kind of stuff. I can help you with anything. And I'll give you some personalized advice and you can try it. And then I'll do a follow-up communication with you where I'll see how it's going. And up to this point, you're just getting free services from me because I like helping people. And then if you feel like you got the help you need and you're good to go, I'll be glad to hear about that and you can just keep running with it and enjoy it. Or at that point, if you feel like you could continue to use help from me, then I'll continue to work with you and we'll set up like a payment plan because, I have like a family to feed and my time, my time needs to correspond to money in some way or it doesn't work out. Just the way the world is. You know how it is. The way money works. We're gonna have a relationship of gratitude and generosity with each other. And I'll give you these services and we'll come up with a price that works for you, right? A price that fits your budget. I'll make it work for anyone. And I'll give you the mentorship you want that works for you. And so if you would like that help with that sort of thing, click the Get Mentoring button and fill out this form and we can get going with that process. And I want to thank these people that are supporting our channel, some of whom are receiving that very kind of mentoring. Receiving the mentoring is a way to help pay the bills for the channel, right? You get mentoring and it supports the channel, supporting more people. That's pretty neat. You can also support on Patreon. And thank you for sticking with us through this series. Remember to add the comments below any additional questions you have and maybe we'll make some more videos. And we'll also be putting out additional series of videos in the future around other topics. And so if there's a specific topic you want to vote that we cover, besides just money, like other kinds of problems that come up in life that you want us to talk about, how to apply these same kinds of principles, these same sort of how to apply the 13 virtues to those principles, put that in the comments below. If you want, help with parenting, help to have better sex, help to improve relationships, help to do, help to enjoy your job more, whatever it is that you want help with, put it in the comments below and we'll use that to decide what videos to make next. And we will see you then in the next video. And until then, enjoy your best self, one season at a time.